What is going on, rich homies? It is 8:45 Friday night. Just walked in the door from work. What a way to spend your Friday, right? But the thing is that I would have it no other way. It's kind of sick because I secretly love this. It feels great. There's a few days in every month where I really have to dig deep and grind pretty hard.
Now should I talk about my grind?
It's rewarding. It's challenging. I run into new problems every single time, but guess what? I always figure that out. And if you guys are not familiar with the whole concept of you fly, I buy, I would highly encourage you to look into it because I got Chick-fil-A delivered at work. I mean, that's pretty great. So anytime you have Chick-fil-A, you know it's a good day. Excuse my voice here, guys. I call this my power cereal, not to be confused with power beer. Cheers. You got your Cafe Select, so you got your protein and your caffeine. With some puff wheat cereal, you got your carbs. I'm telling you, and it tastes so good. So it's 7:30 on Saturday morning. I'm getting a late start to the day. Typically, I like to be at the gym and ready to go by 7:30, but feeling a little bit crappy today, so moving a little bit slower. Should probably just skip the gym.
I'm the freaking man, I don't get it, do you? Type of money, everybody acting like they knew you. Go uptown, New York City.
You know how many times I felt better from not going to the gym?
Now she want a photo, you already know though. You only live once, that's the motto, baby. Yellow, don't be about it every day, every day, every day. Like we sitting on the bench, baby, we don't really play every day, every day. What anybody say, can't see him cause the money ain't the way, real homie, what's up?
I really compare running a YouTube channel to any other type of business. It's kind of the same process. It has the same type of nuances, the same issues, the same challenges. Take any type of like manufacturing business, for example. Maybe you're making clothes or shoes or any type of widgets, it doesn't matter. And compare that to developing a video. So you go through the development process, you create something, and usually the owner of that business, the entrepreneur, that's what they're passionate about, the actual product, right? Same with developing videos. I mean, especially for me, when I go through the editing process, I lose sight of everything else. That's my one focus, and that's what I love. So you get to the end of it though, and that's not the end of it. I mean, there's no one that's going to see your video unless you do something with it. Same with developing a product. You can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, you can't sell it, and no one else will benefit from it. And maybe most importantly, you can't make any money. So YouTube, you get to the end of it. It doesn't matter what's in that video. The two things that matter the most are the thumbnail picture and the title, and that's the sales. That's the marketing aspect of this. And you guys know I'm a very subtle sales guy. Favorite quote?
30% link in description.
PEScience.com. Travis is your discount code. You know the good news though is that PES has a flavor for all of those. So if you guys are interested, probably the most amount of product that I've ever received from a company at one time. Wow. This is honestly like Christmas right now. This is from a company called Combatant Gentlemen, and I am very impressed with these guys already. Not because they sent me a big box of stuff, although that definitely helps, but they sent me an email, and I could tell that they actually watched my videos, which you would think would go without saying, but I get emails every single day. Well, maybe not every day, probably like every day or every other day, every third day, from companies wanting me to promote their products when I could tell they've never even watched my channel. They just send a mass email to everyone, and I'm just not really interested in working with companies like that. Hold on. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid for this. Do you guys have to dislike the video if I get free stuff or only if I get money? I don't know which one it is, but I obviously get free stuff, but this is not sponsored by them. They didn't even tell me I had to make a video. They just said, I'm gonna send you out some stuff. I wasn't expecting them to send me a whole new wardrobe.
Waking up to your face, baby, you still on my mind. Trust me, I'm feeling the signs, thinking about making you mine.
You guys know I'm not the most fashionable person out there. I just like to look presentable. I like to look nice and not pay a whole lot of money. And I was on the website, and this stuff is very reasonable in price, a lot cheaper than most clothes I see out there. So I'm gonna feel real bad if this stuff doesn't fit, but I'm hoping that it does.
I never displace. I'll show you love that your ex couldn't make. Babe, I'm a savage, get used to my.
So at first I thought these were gonna be work shirts, but now these might be some going out shirts, man.
I need somebody like.
I don't know why, but I'm real excited about these red pants. No idea what I would ever be able to wear them with. They just look I don't know, they just look cool to me. And you know what I need? If there's any female watching these videos, I need someone to just dress me, like get me out of the door in the morning. Is anybody willing to do that? I need some help. Let me specify, not physically dress me, like pick out clothes for me. Yeah.
Back that thing up.
You know, the ironic part is I have all these nice new clothes for work now because of my YouTube channel. It's funny how that all comes around full circle. So huge thank you to Combatant Gentlemen. I will link them down below if anyone is interested in trying them out. And thank you to you guys. They would not want to send me anything if it wasn't for you all watching the video. So I truly do appreciate that. It's funny that a few weeks ago I went out to California to shoot YouTube videos.
Then I went to California, and I ain't never coming back.
I think walking to the airport is one of my all-time favorite activities. So I thought it was gonna be the best start to the day. I was gonna get Chick-fil-A breakfast. I was sitting outside waiting for them to open. Remembered it was Sunday.
Got a high five from a brother. I got blood.
Pleasure to welcome you to Los Angeles. Local time is a little bit after 11 o'clock. Free LAX shuttles to the other terminals, waiting or stopping until your passengers are curbside and ready to load.
Where's the sunshine at, man? You guys know every time I travel, I like to give you an elaborate room tour, so there we go. But why are you back in California again? Everybody wants to know. That is the question of the hour. Well, I mean, it could be a wide range of reasons, right? Maybe I'm out here for a convention. Maybe I'm out here to see a friend. Maybe I'm out here because I secretly got married and I have to come get my wife. Who knows? First, let's talk about where I'm at, because I don't even know. I'm in this city called Torrance. I don't know what is here, to be honest with you guys. And it just seems to be more of an industrial town. It's not nearly as exciting as Venice and Santa Monica, but I did look up. Looks like there's a beach nearby. So there's a good chance I'm gonna be headed there.
To 90th Street.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't really recommend this, but when I go to places, I just start walking. I don't look at what's around, I don't look at what kind of neighborhood it is, I don't look at the forecast, I just go, and sometimes that gets me into a little bit of trouble, but I'm gonna hope for the best. It definitely smells like cannabis around here. I really just want coffee. There's a Denny's right there. I don't think that I wanna go sit in a Denny's. There's a Del Taco, I've never heard of that. It might be an LA thing, but there's gotta be like a local coffee shop or something, I don't know. Goes out to LA, finds an amazing bakery with tons of great stuff, gets a black coffee with a straw. Don't worry, I will be back. If you guys could only see some of the looks that I get while I'm out here taking these thumbnail pictures. And I don't remember if I've even told you why I'm out here really. And it is for business, believe it or not. This is definitely not the worst place to be, but it's just funny to think about how much different the reasoning is for being out here than it was a few weeks ago when I was out here shooting videos. It's just like, sometimes I feel like I get the best of both worlds. They're close by?
Yeah, very near.
All right, cool.
Here is Formosa, next to is Manhattan.
Oh, awesome.
Very near, just walking or...
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that I'm number one.
Sure, you're number one. And how nice, 1,000 누구나.
Yeah, not too bad.
Company is the Japan is number one or the best company. Meet you and nice to meet you.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Have a nice trip.
Thank you, thank you. There's no place in the world that I love more than the beach. I bet she's got an awesome YouTube channel. It's always cool to see professionals with cameras because us people on YouTube, believe it or not, have no idea what we're doing with these things. So unfortunately on this trip, this is the only free time that I have before I actually have to get to work. So I figured I'd come to the beach, check it out, and then we'll get back to the office tomorrow. But I think I'm in a unique position because there's not many people out there that have a YouTube channel that are consistent with it that also work in the corporate world. So I thought I could provide you guys with a unique perspective because I hear a lot of arguments back and forth and people say that YouTubers don't have real jobs, which I can tell you I've spent enough time with people that do social media full time to know that It's not really as easy as you think, or as it appears. There's a lot of work that is required with it. Now, it appears to be great, right? Because a lot of times they're just traveling around, making videos, doing different things, usually cool things. But I think what a lot of people miss out on is kind of the behind the scenes work that they're not filming, which I kind of got to see a little bit of. So I definitely have an underlying level of respect for them. And one of the biggest criticisms I hear about people that pursue YouTube full time is the sustainability factor. They can't do it forever. How are they gonna build their future? And I guess this is a multi-part answer, because for me, when I see people that are doing that, they're planting seeds in so many different areas. They're not just relying on YouTube, whether that be building a business, selling merchandise, something or another, okay? And some people will argue that, well, they can't do that forever. Well, guys, you can't base all your decisions off of whether or not you can do it forever. If you have something good going on right now, you have to capitalize on that. Well, Travis, why don't you quit your job and become a YouTuber then? Well, there's a few problems with that. One, I do not have a big enough audience. My channel is not big enough. I could not live off what I make from YouTube. And even if I could, I really do love my job. And working the typical office job has its perks, right? You have the security of getting that paycheck every single week, which is nice. You get your benefits. You got, I guess, your future is a little bit more defined. So some people need that security. And for me, I really like managing both right now. I feel like I do a pretty good job, but I think the one thing that most people just don't realize is that having a real job, and I put that in quotes because there's teenagers on the internet, on YouTube, making 6 figures. That's pretty real, right? More than a lot of people out there are making. But they're not all that different. I mean, we have different types of tasks, but we have to put in the same amount of work, you know, especially if we want to be as successful as possible. My biggest advice, live and let live. Just because someone's aspirations are different than yours doesn't make them wrong, doesn't make them right, just makes them different. And that's what makes this world go round. Everyone wants to criticize everybody else for what they want to do. If you think you can go be a YouTuber, then do it. A lot of people say, oh, it'd be so easy. All you have to do is travel around and make videos. But if you could do it, you would do it. And then on the other side of that, there's the people that say anyone that goes and works a traditional job is selling themselves short. They're going and helping someone else build their dream. But I heard this fact the other day, and I'm probably gonna mess this up, but no one's gonna know because that's what politicians do all the time and they get away with it. But I think it's 62% of entrepreneurs work at another company for at least 10 years before starting their company. And I heard that in The Power of Broke, if you guys wanna check out that book. Which, what does that tell you? You learn so much from working at these big companies. I know I walk into meetings and the people that I'm able to sit across the table with, I mean, you wouldn't even believe the amount of knowledge and experience they have. So it definitely does have its benefits. So you're young, you're easily influenced, you're seeing all these guys and girls on the internet making tons of money, driving these awesome cars just by making YouTube videos. So that's what you're going to do, right? Just keep in mind, these people have the entrepreneur spirit. They have something special about them. And if you have that, by all means, pursue it. But figure out what is best for you. I'm getting pretty hungry though. I gotta find food. You know, I should do a food challenge here in LA. What about... Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go try to find a food challenge to do, which I'll put in a separate video. I will be here the rest of the week, but I don't think I'll be able to record much at all, just because I'll be working, and when the suit comes on, the camera goes off. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the sunshine, because unfortunately, it's not gonna be sunny in Ohio for quite a while. And I don't travel again for, actually, I travel in like 3 weeks, so we'll see.
I would say me for, that happened to me.
Walking through the unknown streets of LA with my suitcase just to get donuts. That's dedication, my friends. Happy Monday. So I think LAX is probably one of my favorite places to shoot videos. So much more exciting than at my house. There's just so much going on all the time, so many people. It's always a good time. And if you guys wondered how stupid I look walking around the airport with this camera, here you go. So this is essentially what other people see. Can you guys see this, like, right? Yeah. So definitely not the cheapest place to do Christmas shopping, but I'm running out of time and options, so I figured, what the heck. Doing awesome. Thank you. So definitely a little bit different than my trip out here a few weeks ago, but equally as awesome, equally as productive. I learned so much in the last few days. The amount of things I was able to see, learn, and just overall experience. And when you think about it, I mean, life is just one big mesh of experiences, regardless of how you go about getting those. And I think at the end of the day, that's kind of what everybody is looking for. So for me, what I try to do is kind of combine all of these experiences, and then that's how I look at my life. I don't silo my life into different categories. Like, I don't just think about my job and then think about my hobbies separately and then think about my friends. It kind of all, they go into one, you know, and that's what creates my overall happiness. Oddly enough, I only get Starbucks when I travel, and I always get the exact same thing.
All of a sudden I've been feeling so lonely.
So you guys are not gonna believe this, but decaf coffee. I've not had any caffeine since Sunday, and this is Thursday, so that is 4 days. I mean, that is pretty impressive. I usually try to schedule my weeks off of caffeine when I travel, just because I don't really need caffeine as much when I'm in a new area. You know, I'm already excited just about life. So that's my strategy. And now I'm kind of missing it a little bit, but as long as I get the taste of coffee, I'll be all right. I feel like this would be the perfect place to end the video, yeah? So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch. You guys could have been doing anything in the entire world, and you decided to spend a few minutes with me. That is pretty awesome. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed it. That really does help me out a lot. And you made it to this point. You had to have liked something, right? I look forward to talking to you guys next time.